What's good, Skins fans? I just want to thank you guys for checking out the stream the other night with my guy Louis T. It was awesome. I know you guys have been waiting years for that collab. Same thing with Street Scores a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, thank you guys for tuning in and donating to the channel. I appreciate that. Definitely going to try to do more stuff like that. Going live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So you never know who's going to be on the show. You never know who's going to be a special guest on the show. So stay tuned throughout the all season. So of course, I just want to talk about the offense. We've seen Dwayne Haskins working out with Steve Sims and Calvin Harmon and Terry McLaurin, of course. So it really got me intrigued. And I listened to Scott Turner, and I made my video last week about how the defense improved 5 ways. Now I want to talk about 5 ways how I think the offense improved this all season. So number one for me is Antonio Gibson out of Memphis. I really like him a lot. I remember my initial reaction to the pick. I was just a little confused because I never really watched Memphis in college. I think they're in the American Conference in the NCAA, so I never really got to watch Memphis. But Antonio Gibson is a lightning player. He's an electric player. He's a great special teams player, a great receiver. Not a great receiver, but a good receiver. He's learning, getting better at the position. And as a home run hitter at running back. Home run hitter anywhere you can put him. Home run hitter on special teams, home run hitter in the slot, home run hitter in the running back position. So I loved that third round pick with Antonio Gibson after watching this film. I mean, the guy has 77 touches, and out of the 77 touches, 13 touchdowns. He had 13 touchdowns out of 77 touches. That's incredible, and that's something that we need. We need more electric players. We need home run hitters. I feel like Steve Sims is a guy that can hit a home run for us. I feel like Terry McLaurin is a guy that can hit a home run for us, and Calvin Harmon is more the possession receiver. So I love that dynamic player that you can just plug and play Antonio Gibson all over the field. You know, Army Swiss knife. So I can't wait. And Scott Turner, it was really Scott Turner's pick from what I heard. So I'm excited to see Antonio Gibson all over the field. They say they're going to motion him out from a running back to a receiver and create mismatches against the linebacker. So I'm excited. That should definitely add and help out Dwayne Haskins this upcoming season. So I'm excited once again to see Antonio Gibson in a Washington Redskins uniform. And he is wearing number 24, so he will be listed as a running back. But, he's just going to be playing all over the field. So I'm excited to see. Once again, I'm excited to see Antonio Gibson. Number 2 for me is Antonio Gandy Golden. Through the draft, 4th round pick. He was a steal. He was projected to be a 2nd rounder, 3rd rounder in a couple of people's mocks draft. And he's 6'4". Everybody was like, we need a big receiver. We need a big receiver. We need a tall guy. We need a tall receiver. We have these speedy small guys with Terry and Steve, but we need that tall guy who can go up and get it and be that possession receiver for us. Another guy. So I can't wait for Antonio Gandy Golden. 6'4", not the fastest guy. I guess that's the knock on him, but he has great hands. Only had, 1 drop last year. And I know he played for Liberty, which is not the biggest school, but he was still getting it done. 1,000 yards receiving consecutive years. Has great hands, very athletic, smart guy on and off the field, can do a Rubik's Cube, was a gymnastics guy. I mean, the guy is just super athletic. Just an athletic freak. For us to get him in the 4th round, that's a huge steal. It's a big steal. I think he'll be competing for a starting job on the team. It's going to be him versus Calvin Harmon to start against. To start alongside Terry McLaurin on the outside. I think AGG will come into his own. I got a feeling AGG will definitely start a few games this year. I'm not saying he's going to start 16 games, but I definitely see AGG by the end of the season starting at least 4 or 5 games before this season is over. So I'm excited to see this guy. He has a dynamic element. And it makes it easier for Dwayne Haskins. Having somebody who's 6'4" out there that can run routes and get open like he can, that's going to make it a lot easier for our quarterback. And I know they said our receiving core is 32nd in the league. That's because they're young guys. We're not. I know. The so-called experts are not going to be like, oh, a team with Antonio Gandy Golden, who's a rookie, and Steve Sims, who's a 2nd-year guy, and Terry McLaurin, a 2nd-year guy. They're not going to say that these guys are 30 or 15th in the league or even 1st or nowhere near that. So we got to earn our respect. I'm excited for this wide receiver group. I think they're a lot better than what people think. You just got to see it to believe it. They just haven't had opportunities. Steve Sims hasn't had as many opportunities as he should have gotten last year because Trey Quinn was in front of him, and Calvin Harmon didn't get a lot of opportunities because Paul Richardson was in front of him. When those guys got to play towards the end of the year with Dwayne Haskins and they got that chemistry, and you see, you know, them starting to get even more chemistry in the workouts. Hopefully it translates to the field in 2020. I think the sky is the limit for this wide receiving core. Now I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I think some good things are definitely going to happen with this receiving core. Number 3 for me, because we have AGG, Antonio Gibson. Those are the 2 big additions. Number 3 for me is Scott Turner being named the offensive coordinator. I did like Kevin O'Connell, but I think Scott Turner is definitely going to help out Dwayne Haskins. He's going to get the ball out of Dwayne Haskins' hands quicker. He's going to help him with that. You know, he does a lot of motions, so it's going to confuse defenses. You know, he likes to throw the ball on first down, which is cool. It gets Dwayne Haskins more comfortable throwing the ball to running backs. You know, we don't have much at the tight end, but just getting the ball out of his hand quicker, making Dwayne Haskins feel comfortable, getting him in a rhythm. You know, because the previous regime, like Bill Callahan, we were running the football on first down, second down, and then third down would be like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. That's not going to happen with Scott Turner. The Eric Coryell offense, he wants to move the football downfield. So many motions, confusing the defense, getting Dwayne Haskins comfortable. I'm excited to see it. Now, it's going to be a work in progress. So I'm not expecting Dwayne Haskins to throw for 400 yards in the first few games. It's going to take some time for him to learn. But I think Scott Turner is going to get this offense better. Adding J.D. McKissick as well, getting more versatile running backs in there, guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield is really going to help Dwayne Haskins. Everybody wants to compare J.D. McKissick to maybe have him as a poor man's Christian McCaffrey, or even Antonio Gibson comparing him to Christian McCaffrey. Everybody's looking for that guy that Scott Turner had. So Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick are those guys that could potentially have a lot of yards running the ball and a lot of yards catching the ball out of the backfield. So, and Darius Guice can catch the ball out of the backfield too if he's healthy. Adrian Peterson is improving on that aspect of his game. So I think Scott Turner will really, really help out Dwayne Haskins, getting the ball out of his hand, get that running clock going, finding an open man and getting it down. Because when Dwayne Haskins started out last year, it was just the running clock was a little slow. He was holding on the ball too long. And I think Scott Turner is going to help Dwayne Haskins out with that. Number 4 for me is Dwayne Haskins losing weight. I heard he lost 10 pounds, lost a good amount of body fat. So that's awesome for Dwayne Haskins. I think that's really going to help with his mobility. I think he does need to be quicker in the pocket. And he actually surprised a lot of people. He surprised me with how fast he was in the pocket, how agile he was. You know, spin moves, getting out of the pocket, breaking tackles. So he actually surprised me. So I'm excited once again to see how losing weight will help Dwayne Haskins, to see if that's going to make him faster. You know, that read option he ran against the Eagles where he torched them for 26 yards. I mean, the Eagles defense was so trash that, you know, Dwayne Haskins ran for 26 yards on a run on a read option play. So I feel like the sky is the limit with that too. I'm not expecting him to be like a Lamar Jackson or even as fast as Deshaun Watson. You know, I'm not expecting that, but I think Dwayne Haskins will be able to hurt some teams with his legs, you know, where he might be able to go out there and run for maybe a 15-yard run for a first down. You know, he ran for a nice run against the Lions in the game that we won 16-13. So I think Dwayne Haskins losing weight will help him be quicker in the pocket, moving around, more agile, and it will make it a more versatile team with Dwayne Haskins. Being a dual-threat quarterback. Like I said, I'm not asking him to be a runner or be a running quarterback, but a quarterback that can move in the pocket. It's 2020. This is how it is. You know, quarterbacks are being more mobile, and coaches want their quarterbacks to be able to move now in the pocket and create with their feet. So if things fall apart, I think Dwayne Haskins can make some moves and maybe run for a first down for 15 yards. You know, we'll see. He's done it before a few times. So number 5 for me is offensive line depth. I know we lost. We traded away Trent Williams, and I know we lost some guys. We lost Eric Flowers. But I think the depth is better. I think adding Cornelius Lucas was a good move. A low-key move. He played very well. He was, you know, pancaking DeMarcus Lawrence for the Cowboys last year in that Bears game where the Bears embarrassed the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. So that was Cornelius Lucas playing very well. Drafting Sadiq Charles, the left tackle out of LSU. He's a rookie, so it's going to be a work in progress. But, you know, we have Cornelius Lucas to back him up. And then if somebody gets hurt, heaven forbid, maybe Jerron Christian. We'll see. Hopefully he improves. And then we got, you know, Wes Schweitzer. I think Wes Martin will win the job, so Wes Schweitzer will be backing up Wes Martin. So we have depth there. Drafting Keith Ishmael at center. You still have Chase Rouillet. You still have Ross Pierschbacher. And then at right guard, of course, you have Brandon Sheriff. So we have guys that can play multiple positions. You still have Morgan Moses on the right tackle, who's concerning. But like I said, you have Cornelius Lucas to back him up as well. So I kind of like our offensive line depth. I think we need to add one more player, maybe another left tackle to mentor Sadiq Charles. maybe a Jason Peters. We know the agent situation. Maybe Donald Penn, bringing him back. Who knows? But I actually like the offensive line depth. Where in previous years, guys would get hurt, and it would go south real quick. So I like the offensive line depth. I think we just need one more piece, and that's about it. So those are the things I like about our offense. Those are the ways I think we improved. Of course, getting rid of some guys on the offensive side that couldn't stay healthy. Tight end is still a concern, but I think we did improve those 5 ways. Not drastically improve, but I think the offense definitely will be better this year. It can't get much worse. That last half of the season was tough to watch, but I think those are the 5 ways we got better. You guys let me know. Like I said, once again, I am happy that Dwayne Haskins lost the weight. I think it's something that he needed to do. I do think he needed to get faster. Just a little bit faster. Like I said, I don't want to be a running quarterback, but I think it helps, because he ran like a 5.2 40 in the combine. And, his comparison is Big Ben, who's a chubby guy, but he still moves in the pocket. He does. He gets around, he breaks tackles, he moves around in the pocket from time to time. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this. All right, y'all. Hail to them skins. Peace.